What's up, family? You're tuning in to Real Labs Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. I am Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. It is the 26th of February, Monday night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've been trying to bring you our brand new shows, which we have for the past couple of weeks, thanks to our sponsor, Kaufman and Lynn. James is out tonight. He's in Springfield, Illinois. Which ain't nothing there. I think it's the Abraham Lincoln Museum. I think that's like the only thing. When I worked there, he was like, "Yo, go check out the museum." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm all good. I'll be okay."
James is in
And
the museum playing one of the free slaves. He's like, "Welcome to the Abraham Lincoln Museum. My name is Zachariah Weist, and Mr. Lincoln freed me. Not because he wanted to, though. He could have done it way earlier."
yeah, they like, hey, they like stick to the script, uppity tiger.
Yeah.
And Kaufman is out. He's in Vegas right now. Going to see Wu Tang. So,
Kaufman's telling a long story at the crap table before he rolls the dice. He's like, "It's
uh,
really interesting. I'm going to kind of bring it up real quick. I know everybody's waiting for me to roll his dice, but hold on. Me and Dan Newland and the Incredible Hulk were having a conversation once. Roll the damn dice."
oh man, so it's just me and Miguel tonight, which means we have no supervision. So there's no telling what's gonna go on tonight, man. I had a crazy weekend. I was performing this weekend. Did snap? I about to say snappers, madcaps, and
You Smyrna?
no Palm Coast.
Oh,
Did
the
Palm
Palm Coast.
Coast?
I haven't been to the Palm Coast one
Yeah,
yet.
Palm
Yeah.
Coast, small room, super small room. First night, good show. Had a chatter. Had the
Yeah.
one guy that has never been to a show before in his life. What was crazy was the way it's set up. I didn't even know he was with the people that he was talking to.
Yeah.
So he leans over to the girl in front of him. He's like, "Yo, you good? You too drunk to drive?" And I'm like, "Are you asking on a date? Are you trying to get a phone number during the show? Like, what are we doing?" And
I
he
like
kept
that.
talking, bro. And I was like, and this what I do, Miguel. I hit him with the dog. I got like 20 minutes left. Dog, I got like 15 minutes. He was like, I don't give a damn. So we got through it. And then at the end of the show, he came up to me. Dude, I just walked away. I just like,
Yeah.
I ain't want no conversation. But then the last night show sold out, great crowd, and had a good time, man. So that was my comedy weekend. So how was yours, brother?
My weekend was painful. I'm gonna tell you, it was painful. Ken. It was painful. So, man, yesterday, February 25th, was the Nature Boy Rick Flair's birthday.
Yep.
And about a week and a half ago, I'd start talking maybe a few weeks ago to Ric Flair's management about having Ric Flair on the Mike Busey Show podcast, and it'd been going good. And then out of nowhere, his management was like, "Hey, it's going to be Ric Flair's birthday, 75th birthday. Would you guys like to come?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah." Rick lives out in Tampa. I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, yeah, yeah." Because we had been talking a lot in the management. And the management was like, "Oh no, like, you guys are real fans. You guys, the vibe is great." Blah blah blah. So my homeboy Matt Heller is good friends with Rick Flair, and they were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Matt's going, so you guys should come. You should come." And man, I got the text messages. It says, "You guys should come. You guys should come." And
Plural.
then plural. And then a couple days before, I basically was like, "What time would you like me and Mike to come?" And they were like, "Oh, well, I thought Mike was going to be Matt's guest. We're really trying to keep it small." And I was kind of like, "Yeah, I tell Mike he can't come, you know." And they're like, "Rick really wants to meet Mike," and so I was like, "Okay, I'll send Mike over there." And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And Mike's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, bro." He's like, "I know you wanted to come too." He's like, "Maybe I could talk to him," but there's nothing. They wanted Mike to come. They wanted him to come as Matt's guest. That's it. So Mike's like, and Matt's telling me too. My boy Matt Heller from hornblasters.com, shout out, is like, it's gonna be small. It's gonna be a big family thing. So he's like, we're all gonna hang out with Rick later on another time. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. So Mike goes to Ric Flair's birthday, bro. And throughout the night, I get texts and pictures that just pee me off. First text I get is, "Oh my God, Killer Mike is here." And then I'm like, "No, he's not." And there's a picture of Mike Busey and Killer Mike. He's like, "Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish is here." Then it's a picture of Mike Busey and Darius Rucker and Killer Mike just laughing. He's like, Sergeant Slaughter's here. Then he's like, Hogan's here. Hulk Hogan's here. Then he's like, oh my God. It's throughout the night, it just becomes more and more people that I would like to meet. And then Busey's all drunk. So he's like, oh my God, Darius Rucker's hilarious. You love him. I was like, I do love him. I do love him, dog. Okay. He's like, oh, Killer Mike said he saw us on Vice. He's such a cool guy. I'm like, I kind of think he sucks now.
Yeah,
You
right,
know?
right, right.
And I've known Hulk Hogan, not like named. I know Hulk Hogan from the Monsters. Russ was great enough to introduce me to Hulk Hogan, and I've known Hulk Hogan for years on a basis where Hulk Hogan's been very kind to me. He's wished me happy birthdays. I've seen him out places, invited me to hang with him. Hulk Hogan's always been great to me, and I've always appreciated that. But like Mike had never really met Hulk Hogan; he'd met in passing, and now he's like, "Oh, Hogan says I gotta come by the house. He wants to kick." I'm like, "I've known Hulk Hogan for 6 damn years." You know, he's been cordially kind. He's like, I have Hulk Hogan's business manager's phone number. That's how I communicate with Hulk Hogan. Mike's like, Hogan just gave me his number. He's like, he's so cool. I'm like, they're all gay. All
Yeah,
right,
right.
say right now. All right, I don't like any of them
Hey,
anymore. Hey, Hogan, wrestling's fake. I heard you say the N word. You're not my friend. You
hey,
know,
dude, this was getting me. Killer Mike.
Killer Mike
How did Killer
and
Mike Rick
Darius
Flair
Rucker.
friendship? How did Killer Mike Rick Flair friendship? How did that friendship come about?
Yo, and check this out. I have no clue because I wasn't there to ask, Ken. I wasn't. I didn't have a moment to be like, "Hey, Killer Mike, how this
Yeah,
wonderful friendship happen?" But
that's
I know
such an
this.
odd ass friendship, bro.
He goes, because I said, Killer Mike was there? He says, yeah. He goes, he walks in the room and Ric Flair stands up. He's like, oh my God, everybody, Killer Mike made it. And he goes, it's all these older, like white people, Ric Flair's family, and they're all like, Mikey. You know what I'm like, y'all, your whole old ass family knows Killer Mike? Like, they're all like, get over here, Killer Mike. Get over
Yeah,
here,
dude,
you old so and so.
that's a crazy mixture of people.
Have you ever noticed that though? Sometimes, like when you find out, like, or you meet a celebrity and you meet them with somebody else, and it's like mind blowing. You're like, hold up, man. You're like Larry Bird. You're friends with you, God. You know, it's like, been
I,
homies for decades.
bro, I saw a picture. It was Kevin Hart, um, a WNBA player. I can't think of her name. The Undertaker. And
Yeah,
so, like it was like you look at the picture, like what the hell is the Undertaker, Lisa Leslie, Kevin
yeah,
Hart, and and let's say the RZA. What they
yeah.
all doing in the same room posing? Like this ain't even.
And it's weird because I remember watching I think it was MTV Cribs and it was the Wu Man, yeah, it was the Wu Manor out in California when we were all living out in California together. And RZA's talking about, yeah, yeah, I go to Warren Beatty's house and play chess. That's my man. And I'm like, Warren Beatty's your homie? Like, I'm like name dropping, like, hey, do you guys know Tom Rhodes? You
Yeah,
know,
uh,
because he doesn't answer my texts anymore.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Dude, man, one night me and Chris Alexander, local comic for people who listening, out we were sitting on my front porch drinking. And I said, let's just text every celebrity we have in our phone to see who replies back. And we just texted. Got Tori replied back. John Hitton replied back. Oh, he got Russell Peters to reply back. I got Tony Roberts to reply back. And then I said a thought. I'm like, these just comics.
Yeah,
You know, and then
yeah,
like I got Denzel number. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I should be able to talk to comedians.
I like when I get left on red by like a celebrity, and then when they need something, they're like need something bad. But then it'll be like, hey man, I'll be hitting them up. I'm in Dallas. You in Dallas? Nothing. Hey man, when you coming through? Nothing. And then all of a sudden be like, hey Miguel, what's popping? Krista at the Improv. You know her well. You know. I'm
Doesn't even
like,
hey, don't even acknowledge your last three
no,
three texts.
don't even lie. Like, don't even pull the. Oh man, I never read these 17 texts.
Do you ever text him like holidays, like Merry Christmas and stuff like
Some
that?
some people I do, like people that I know I'm cool with, like more so than people I've done just shows with. People I've done shows with, I've learned too now. I'm just like, hey man, I heard you're gonna be here in town. You got somebody to do this spot. Cause that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, like people that I'm cool with, man. Uh I've known Waka Flocka Flame for years because of Mike Busey, and Waka and me have become close enough that Waka and me have a meme thread, which is always weird when you sending memes to somebody who like is a sort of celebrity, because that's the big culture of my text messaging now. If we're cool, we're sending really bad memes. And like Waka Flocka, I didn't know he had never really celebrated Thanksgiving. So him and DJ Who Kid, that's how I know him really, because
Yeah.
Who Kid and him real cool. Shout out to Who Kid, came out to our All for the Money show. I text Who Kid and Waka on a thread, Happy Thanksgiving. And Waka texts me back, what's Thanksgiving all about? And I thought, oh, we're getting some black spiritual cultural stuff right here. Like,
Uh,
I was like, oh God, I want to be like, when the kings of the earth came and the 9 points, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah,
I was, yeah, I didn't
yeah.
know. And then all of a sudden he goes, real talk. And I go, I mean, it's the first of the Pilgrims and the Indians. He's like, never really did Thanksgiving. I was like, not even growing up. He's like, nah. And so Busey was like, hey man, Walker and them are gonna be in town. We should surprise them with a Thanksgiving. And Who Kid was like, yo, do him a Thanksgiving. He never really had a Thanksgiving. And so he said, bring Walker a turkey. He would love that. He never really eat turkey. So we got live turkey. We went and picked one up just to freak him out. And we came, we brought all this Thanksgiving food. Matt had it all and stuff like that. And honest to God, Walker was like, that's what you do. You be bringing live turkeys to people on Thanksgiving. I was like, how do you not know
God.
Thanksgiving, man?
To the point where you're like, this dude trolling.
Yeah. But he was
This
like, his
dude
family never
trolling.
celebrated Thanksgiving. He's like, he never really went to people's Thanksgivings. He knows of it. He
He
didn't know
Jehovah
what it was
Witness?
about. I think his people were. I think his people were,
Okay.
man. Yeah. And he didn't know anything really about it. But then it's hard when you get put on the spot, because he's like, what's Thanksgiving about? I was like, I don't. Some
Yeah.
pilgrims was hungry, and then some Indians didn't read the room right, and they were like, "We'll help," you know. And now there's 6 of them left, and they own casinos.
Yeah.
You know.
No, why you BSing? It's really like 6 Native Americans left in the world, bro.
And then
Like,
every Native American you meet is always like there's like 50% you meet a Native American, you're like, oh, look at that dude, man, he's a hundo Native American. And then you meet a dude like me, and I'm like, what's up, man? I'm Ricky Rainwater, and you're like, I don't know, player. You got the name, but I don't
no, no,
know.
no. Hey, that's funny because, like, if even if I was Jehovah Witness, you can still celebrate the holiday without celebrating. You can still eat
Yeah,
some turkey, bro.
dude. I
You
mean,
ain't got to do the whole Thanksgiving. What on Thanksgiving, you can still eat some turkey. You
eat
can
some
still
turkey
do
and some
Christmas.
stuffing.
Just give, hey man, got you a gift for Christmas. Nah, just cause I love you.
I have no idea why people get so angry at other holidays. Like, I just a lot of times you feel. I've met some real like Bible thumpy people that are like, oh, I don't know, that's not a Christian holiday. I'm like, I'll take any holiday, especially if it comes with a day off. Especially come with a day off, man. I'll take Pearl Harbor Day off for the day before when the Japanese planned it, and the day after when it happened. Like,
Yo, Pearl Harbor Eve.
yeah. remember to leave your shiitake mushrooms outside.
Yo, I'm with you, man. I take a holiday because my job pay double time and my
Yeah.
job pays. You either could take that day off and get paid. You could take time and a half and get a holiday, and still an extra day, or you could get double time and a half.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just do it? Like, remember, what was it? When you were in Fort Huachuca, were they celebrating Martin Luther King Day yet?
Yeah, they had MLK. Yeah, and
Because remember
even if they didn't, we were military. They were going to give us that day off anyway.
because I remember Arizona being one of the last states
Yeah,
to really want to do MLK Day.
yeah,
I was like,
man. Well,
are you kidding me? I was like, are you kidding me? I take Ku Klux Klan Wednesday off just to be like, if we don't remember, we're gonna forget, and it'll
uh,
happen again. Hey,
yo,
real quick,
man, we got.
I don't know if you
Listen,
guys can see that. That's me, Waka Flocka Flame, Mike Busey, and the turkey on Thanksgiving
that's
with
funny. Well,
Who
that
Kid.
being said, man, we got to take a commercial break, bro. We be right back, man. It's me and Miguel, so you know it's about to be random as hell. So be
Yeah,
right back. Real Last Real Radio 104.1. Real As Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. Guys, do us a favor and go out to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please go out there, follow, like, and go to YouTube, subscribe to our page. All our videos are up. And if you miss any of these shows and you want to hear us in podcast format, you can go to iHeart, search Real Laughs, and 7 years, going on 8 years of all of our shows are out there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's me and Miguel Colon Jr. Just us two tonight, man. Gail was telling a story about how he got sunned by Rick Flair. You know, I brought that back.
Yeah.
Sunned.
Son, bring it
Somebody's
back.
son. So a comedian sunned me the other day like I wasn't Godfather.
Don't do it. Don't allow
Yeah,
it. Don't.
a comedian sunned me the other day, man. But dude, man, I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about, man. I'm gonna start with this one. Um, we 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 like to look up random stuff to talk about. I just found a Guinness World Record. I don't know if you heard of this one. A couple in Maryland went to over 135 concerts in a year, bro. 135 concerts in a year.
So
The
over 33% of the year they were at a concert.
at a concert, son. The Browns, out of Kingston, Maryland, told the Guinness Book of World Records they for 2023 they spent $18,407 on concerts, which averages about $68 a ticket.
I know the
They
Browns aren't brown in color.
oh, they're not. They're very Caucasian.
Yeah, only Caucasians are like, let's go
Beyonce,
to another concert.
Lizzo, Pitbull, Sam Smith, Billy Joe, Stevie Nicks, to name a few. My question: what is something that you feel like you could break a world record on for a year doing?
Chinese buffets.
That's your thing for real?
If I was on the road, because here it is. Here's what it was. Let's say I was on the road, like old school, like we're talking like 40 weeks on the road or something like that. A go-to comfort, get off the plane, get out of the car. I don't want to think about it. Was a Chinese buffet. Now I don't think I could really do it because I would get tired quick. But if you push me, and say, Miguel, I need you to go to every Chinese buffet from here to Washington State on the road. I know that after a while I could just be, and I would be getting furious too. Be like, I'm tired of when y'all mix this. Yo, General Tso chicken not crispy. Don't put it on the buffet. I want no soggy ass General Tso chicken.
Your General Tso need to be fresh out the fryer, bro.
Or possibly Law and Order episodes watched. Because
Bruh,
I could watch one Law and Order episode every day until they were done with them.
dude,
No worries.
you got me because mine was gonna be something murder mystery. If
Yeah.
if the record was you had to watch every episode of Dateline NBC, I could
You're already
probably
there.
sit here and just watch every episode of Dateline NBC.
You
Bro.
know what's weird too? I don't want to hear you tell me a story about some murdering. Like if you're like, hey man, let me tell you a story about my neighbors getting murdered. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that, bro. The minute I hear Lester Holt talk about it, I'm like, I'm all ears, player.
I do. I have been on that. I got this what Spectrum has a box called the Zumo box because you know they got rid of the big cable boxes.
Yeah.
So they got these little boxes called Zumu, and they got like Zumu TV, which is just Pluto TV.
It's all
You know,
pretended to be
yeah,
Pluto now.
all
Yeah.
of, yeah, pretty much. So I'm watching Dateline over, and when I tell you, bro, I always tell people the first person they pick is never the murderer.
Never.
It's never the killer. It's never. It's like the husband. Okay, this ain't the husband this time.
Yeah.
When they get to 35, 40, and they be
Yeah.
like, yeah, so we checked the DNA on the bicycle, and so happens to be it's him.
Yep.
It's him, bro. Dude, it's so predictable now because I've watched almost every episode. Dude, I've literally, or today at work, I'm working from home, Miguel, and I got Dateline on. It's just playing to the point where I had to call Verizon to get a customer's internet fix. And the lady was like, you watching Dateline? I was like, yeah, I'm working from home.
Hey, you know what my favorite too, Ken, is? When they're interviewing you and they're trying to pretend like you're not in prison, so they don't want to show what you're
Yeah,
wearing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you just see like an orange collar.
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, you're like, we don't need to let him know that Raheem
yeah,
ended
yeah.
up doing time for this one.
Which also is crazy because I'm like, if the way the episode goes, you know you're in prison. They
Yeah.
got you pretending like you're innocent,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then they drop the bomb at the end. I'm like, who signs up for this?
Imagine they sitting with you talking and you're like, yo, man, I just, you know, now that I went Muslim, praise be Allah, I need to make sure I'm real and talk about how I killed her.
Mm,
I like you kind of start off with it wasn't you like, whoa. And then we can turn into it like, nah, man, I'm doing 46 years for killing her. They ask you questions to use that information because they're like, so he's like, first off, I feel guilty for doing it. Be like, be like, hey, you ever cheat playing board games? No, I never did that. Use that cut. You know,
Yeah,
then they're like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, dude. Maybe because so many people already feel they're on that I'm not guilty.
yeah.
Maybe that's why they do it. But I'm like, dog, you in jail already, and you doing a date like, are you do? I wonder if they get compensated for that.
Probably like 6 deodorants and a log of
And
Newports.
some cigarettes,
Yeah,
some oodles and noodles.
yeah. Some
Uh,
dude runs up to your cell. Hey, what's up, man? You Raheem? You doing a Dateline? Yeah. All right, this book is for you. Open it up, man. Page 36. You're like, oh, snap, gum. You know? Damn, Dateline paying.
yo,
You know
yeah,
what funny the best too is when they interview somebody on the phone only, you're like, oh yeah, he's in prison.
yeah. Oh, he's definitely in prison.
They're
Or
like,
they
we
have
want to
that
talk to
terrible
Craig.
background.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's like a library. You know what I'm saying? They're always in some really odd place getting interviewed. It's like a
Yeah.
library or a garage. Like I'm like, yeah, whoever doing they CGI is terrible over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got or the picture of him beforehand, he's all clean cut. Now they talking to him. We got handlebar mustache and tats on his face. Be like, I don't think Dwayne's an accountant anymore. I think I
So,
think things
eh,
may have changed.
yeah, so if I did that, it'd probably be that. It couldn't be food because I did a 30-day Chipotle thing. Where I ate
Delicious.
Chipotle for 30 days straight because me and my office were trying to win. So Chipotle had this competition where you had to eat it like every day and get some points. And then I
This was
did it,
all funded by like a liver study for like a science group. They were like,
bro.
yo,
Oh my dude, I was so sick of Chipotle. I gained 17 pounds.
really?
I had gained 17. I ate Chipotle every day,
You did this
lunch and
for an
dinner,
office competition. You gained
just so my
17.
office can get a free Chipotle buffet.
Wait, wait,
For
wait.
lunch.
For 30 days, you ate so much Chipotle just to win 1 day's worth of free Chipotle.
For real.
Do
For
the math,
real.
Ken. That one
Dude,
did not add up.
it almost killed me, bro. It made me think of what's the dude that ate McDonald's? And yes, I said McDonald's.
Morgan Spurlock, and he did that.
That was me, bro, for
Yeah, he
30
did the
days.
documentary.
Dude, I went up there. I still got the Chipotle bag that they put the food, the catering the food. I still have
Oh,
that bag, bro.
well, you were so you guys did win.
No, we won. Yeah. Yeah, I fed the whole office, bro. As I was getting a stent put in my heart.
And then I just imagine, I imagine this like one of these movies like civil rights where they
Yeah.
quit it, Miller. You'll never be able to do it. And then the most racist person in the office on the last day, you're like laying there, you can't get the buffet, and they just walked in and they're like, I never thought you could do it. And I'm happy I was wrong.
Yeah, with the slow cam. Hey, hey, as they're walking out eating their burrito.
Yeah. And then as you walk away, you fade away, and then music plays like Ken Miller died the next day.
Yo, bro, I did that. So if I had to do some Guinness stuff, it can't be food.
Yeah.
It cannot be food, bro.
I'll,
Because
t- I'll
my
tell you
wife,
another one is for me, hotel jacking. If you put me in a hotel, I'll set the record for
hey,
how many times,
dude,
man.
but that record be broke every day.
Every day, yo. Somebody's beating
Dog,
it.
it's a dude right now. You know how they do those every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
A kid isn't eating. Right now, every 5 seconds, there's a dude beating off, bro.
I'll call the front office too, man. Right when I check into the room, I'm like, hey man, what's up with this 1 ounce of lotion? Who you talking to?
Yeah,
Come on now.
yeah.
Bring
They
me a
put the
couple.
put
Bring
the
me a
thing on the
couple.
door. So
Yeah.
are you here for business? You business or pleasure?
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Well, madam, if you see the pointy mountain of a sheet over there, as hard as a rock,
Only
pleasure
time
is
you
my business.
only time you come down is for the free breakfast.
Yeah. All
Oh man,
exhausted. I just need some Gatorade.
yeah.
You
You
can see
ever
the
see that?
veins.
Yeah, you see that episode of Family Guy when Quagmire found out about online
And the one
porno and
arm's all
had
big. They
that,
come in my room. They're like, "Do you need room service, sir? Or do you need like a room attendant?" I'm like, "Here." And I throw my towel and it hits the ground and shatters. I'm like, "What do you
shatters, bro,
think?"
like ice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. I'm laughing because my wife just texted me. She was out with a friend and the event they were supposed to go to was last night.
Oh.
So they went on the wrong night, and I'm laughing, even though I paid for it. I'm mad because I paid for it. And she was like, "Hey, I'm on my way home." I said, "Well, all right, I'm taping in the radio in the living room." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wait, I thought this thing was 3 hours." She was like, "Yeah, it was last night." I was like, "Well, you owe me $40, so leave it on the nightstand."
What do you think yeah, what could your wife win Guinness Book?
Ooh, if you could do anything shopping or craft any shopping,
Yeah.
she loves crafting, like shopping or crafting, 100%, bro.
You know what's crazy, Ken? I know Sean, and Sean doesn't fit in this category, but it doesn't matter what woman it is, whether she's a well put together, professional woman like Sean, or just a wild scallywag. They all can craft.
Yeah.
They can all craft. The day shift stripper right now with the giant C-section scar who's smoking and Paul Malls to the head. If you asked her right now to knit something, she's like, I can knit. You know, like
With the
all women can
cigarette
with a
hanging.
cigarette hanging. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
baby on her lap. She's
Yeah.
like, I tell you, I'm gonna have the baby knit the bottom.
Because I feel like women are just super creative like that.
They are, man. Have you
They're
ever
like
seen
super
just like
creative.
little girls? You go visit your friends who have little girls or something. Like you have daughters, but you just see them in a corner by themselves building something. Like I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna paint this, and then you see your son. He's like, we're gonna jump off this.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna jump off, and you like, son, that's too high to jump
Yeah.
off. He's like, Daddy, that's why,
Yeah.
because of the
Dude.
doubts.
Yeah. My son, like, all right, dad. You think I can get across the street before the light turn gray? Wait,
Yeah,
what? What? All right, dad. No, stop. What you
every one of us growing up had a homie who was like, I could jump that car,
Oh,
and then we're like, yeah, you could. And then the
yo.
minute he's running, you're like, he ain't gonna be able to do it.
He ain't gonna be able to do
Like,
it. He ain't gonna be able to do it. Dude, yo, that's when I really think about it, I should probably be dead.
can you remember a moment? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a moment right here. I'm gonna tell you a moment that I know I should have been dead. There's a bunch of them, but this is the actual moment that I remember I should have been dead. Uh, we, my homeboy, had this 22 pistol that he shouldn't have had. It was like shouldn't have had, and we set up cans on one end of his house in the living room with the window open because it had a fence to the backyard, and we were on the other end, and we were shooting cans. We were shooting cans just across his living because he a bad house. You know what house this kind of is.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
trap house, and so Mama was bad on drugs. Daddy wasn't around, so we're shooting the cans because they're on the windowsill, and the rounds are just going to hit the fence and stuff. And one day I came over to see these boys, and the window was open, not thinking what we've done in that window before. I popped through the window like, "What y'all fools doing?" And they all screamed because they were about to shoot a can that was sitting on that window.
Oh.
And I think about that moment sometimes because it's not the only moment I should have died, but I think about that moment like, "Yo, how did they at the funeral? Like, what are they all standing around like? You know how he died? He had a dumbass. They were shooting cans and he popped around the other side."
Well, hey, let it be said, we gotta take a commercial break. We come back. I tell my man, I should be dead stories. So let's share some we should be dead stories. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back. Real Ass We're Radio 104.1.
And
Back, Real Ass Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. I am Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. Make sure you go out to Facebook, Instagram, follow us at Real Labs. Also go to YouTube, subscribe to our page. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers, and go out to iHeart, search Real Labs. You can listen to all our shows in podcast format. James is out, Jeff Kaufman is out. It's just me and Miguel in here talking about random stuff. We're going back to our old young days where we should be dead. Or something we should have did that would have killed us, and especially as being boys, because we'll
yeah.
do some stuff we really shouldn't be doing. So I grew up in the projects. I know one thing I shouldn't have been doing is playing basketball at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, you should at least have no shoes and shirt.
Bro, we
You know?
outside hooping, Miguel, at 2 in the morning. Drug dealers just driving by, people
Yeah.
we just out hooping because we had a light on the court.
Yeah.
So we would really go, and the thing is, the court was fenced in. So if somebody came in and started
There's
busting,
nothing
you
you can
dead.
do.
You can't get out because there's only one way in, unless you climb the fence and jump over. That's it. But yeah, so that was crazy. The many a times I done knocked on people's doors in the hood and ran.
Oh
Dude, I
yeah.
remember one night, bro, me and my homeboys, my stepdad used to work at Frito-Lay. He used to be a trash man, and one of his stops was Frito-Lay, and he would bring the chips home that they threw away.
It's so
And
funny that they're like, "Oh, these chips look bad. Let's throw them away."
let's
These
throw
are
them away.
perfect.
So, man, me and my boys, we all out racing, running up and down the street, no shoes on, racing. And this drug dealer car put up, he bumping. And we took a whole bunch of Cheetos and was like, bam, bam, pelting his car and took off running. And my sister was right there. He was like, you know them little MFers? She's like, I don't know them little boys. And this dude drove around our neighborhood all night. And that was our fun.
Yeah.
Every time we saw his car, he would, and we would run. We would
Do you
just keep running from
do
this
you
dude all
remember
night.
the mail slots on doors that people had where you
Yeah,
would open it and throw the mail in?
yeah.
We threw a whole pack of black cats in this dude's house one time because he sprayed us with a hose when we were riding our bikes by. We're just riding our bikes by, and he was like, "Y'all little bad MFers," and sprayed us with hose water. Which was a hot day. We probably loved it, but we were just like, "Oh, we got to teach him a lesson." So we lit a pack of black cats at night, opened the mail slot, and threw them in, and we didn't get maybe 5 steps away before they all just busted up. And my man came outside with a rifle, and we were running. And he didn't know what was going on. I mean, I'm pretty sure he figured out it was fireworks by then. But he came out with a rifle, screaming, and I'm fat, so everybody's way ahead of me running. And now I gotta break right, like I got. Everybody's running, 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 running. They're like, oh, wow, they getting up there. And that dude went running after all of us. And the thing that saved me was it was so dark. It was so dark and it was loud because cars were passing by and stuff. It was so dark and loud that I was able to run around the house. And he didn't know that I went that way. He had saw my two homeboys run in one direction because they were fast, and my fat ass had ducked into a little bit of a shadow. But the whole time I was like, "Oh, this was way bad idea."
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, dude. We were coming back from Boys and Girls Club one night. We ended up walking, me and my home. We walked out everywhere.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
We
Yeah,
walked, we were the true stand by me. We walked
yeah.
everywhere. We would catch the city bus through the mall and then walk
Walk
home
back.
later.
Yeah, because the bus
And
wouldn't run later,
the
right?
bus didn't run late.
Yeah.
So we walking back and this van pull up and this car pulls up and he does a U-turn. And we all just take off running
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
He wasn't, as far as I know, he wasn't looking for us. So then he speeds up. At the time, dude, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm 6'2". I'm hiding behind this van. You can see me. The dude runs around, grabs me, throws me down. All my friends run back. He said, I know one of y'all stole my radio. Apparently, some kids broke in his car and stole his radio. And he just saw a bunch of kids walking down the
Yeah,
street.
and
And
then
he just
y'all
assumed it was
ran, and
us.
so
And
yeah.
we ran. Man, I was like, this dude about to kill us, bro. And he ended up letting us go. We was like, we coming from the boys club. I swear to God, we coming from the boys club. Same night, dog. We walking to my sister's projects, who was across from us. Some dude drove by and shot at us. Just I
Just
was
just
like,
just
how am I here, Lord?
yeah.
How am I here, bro? I'd have been shot at. I'd have had guns pulled on me. I'm just like, how am I here? And then I talked to my kids and my daughter, like, I don't want to walk to school. I said, do you know your father was almost murdered?
Yeah.
And you can't walk 5 blocks up the street?
I tell everybody I had my first real job when I was like real job, paycheck job, not just like a cashier there job. And I was at Don Pablo's. I was 15 years old, and this is when I was living in Charleston, South Carolina. 15 years old, and it was 9 miles from my house. And my mom didn't drive at night. She wasn't going to be driving to pick me up at night. So every night I got off work, if I couldn't get a ride, I had to walk home. It was I mean, one Thanksgiving I had to Google it to show my family because they were like, it wasn't that far. I was like, it was 9 miles. And it was 9 miles if I cut through the train tracks. It was
Yeah.
like 13 miles if I took the roads. So I had to walk home every night. It was a 9 mile walk. Took me about 3 hours slow walking, man, 2 hours. You sometimes you get a little pace to it or whatever. But I had to walk through this hobo camp every time. And it was just like, I say hobo camp. It's just homeless people living in the forest. You know how homeless people sometimes will live in like the woods, and they would make tents out of like teepees and stuff. And they would be tarps, and they would be there, and they would have their little campfires going. And I'd walk through, smelling like delicious food, looking all fat. You
Something they
know,
don't have.
yeah, and I would always pick up because also as I had to walk through this area, I had to walk past these big ponds with alligators, and I would pick up these big river rocks because I wasn't even scared of the alligators because I was like, they're not a worry. It's the hobo camp. And I would pick up a big river rock and I would walk through the hobo camp. And numerous times I would walk through, I would hear, "Hey there, buddy. You want to just come by this campfire and hang out?" I'm like, "Oh God." And I would get home, happy that my virgin butthole had not been taken from me, lay asleep for about an hour and a half, wake up and go to school again and go to work. And so it was my fault. Here's the thing, too. It's my fault because why do I get a job 9 miles away and I don't have a way to and from work? Like that's that mind of a young boy. I'll get a job. I want to get paid. How you gonna get there? I'll figure it out. And so I'd have to walk home. But the funny thing about it is, man, I hear people now, and I think, hey, walking home 9 miles, I can understand that being unreasonable. But I hear people now, their job's about a mile away. They're like, my car won't work. I wonder how I'm gonna get there. I know.
Wow.
You're gonna walk.
Dude, it's so crazy. I worked in Maitland, right on Trafalgar. If anybody you guys listen, you live or been through Maitland, the building that had Sprint on it. It had Nextel, Sprint, and T-Mobile, right by the IRS building. I live on Wildmore Road, where right Wildmore Road and Lake Destiny.
Yeah.
I could literally walk to work, and I drove and was late for work every day.
Is this when you got right out of the army?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
yeah, I literally could walk to work and I was late every day. But the crazy thing is, besides the job I had now, I've always had Parker Brothers. When I worked at Parker Brothers, it was about 2 miles from the house.
Yeah. You
So
walked
I
everywhere.
didn't
Yeah.
mind walking. I just hated walking at night because I had to walk. I had drug dealers.
Yeah.
I had to walk through. So I always tell the story. I always had to have extra food. They called me the chicken dude. So I always had to have extra food to feed the drug dealers
To get
on my
home.
way home so I wouldn't get murked. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom was the same way. If she in the bed, she ain't getting up to come get me.
My mom would lock the door at like 10:30 at night. She'd be like, if you're not home by 10:30, you know,
And
find a place.
was it because we were boys?
I
Like
think so.
they didn't even care.
Mm-mm.
They didn't
My
even
little sister,
care that we were walking home, bro.
my little sister's 31 years old now. She doesn't drive. She works for the downtown library system. She lives maybe a 20-minute walk from the library. If it's rainy outside, I'll be like, ooh, one of us got to take her. Like I'm like, I used to walk in the pouring rain.
Bro, pouring rain, bro. And so now I'm replaying it in my head. I'm like, man, our parents ain't care about us as boys. They're like,
Because
you're a boy, you'll be fine.
once we got past that kidnapping stage, they're like, "You're 15. They're not gonna kidnap you. You're good."
Oh man, and it was a kidnapper dude that rode around our neighborhood too, bro. He was like mad weird, and
Yeah,
like he would like whack off, like but
yeah.
just drove around and nobody called the police.
No, because we
Like,
were like,
nobody
"Oh, that's
reported
old
this dude. He was the little
crazy
kidnapper
whack
black
off
dude.
Kevin."
Yeah, just drove
It
around.
was your fault if Kevin got you, because you knew
Yo,
Kevin was gonna whack off
yo.
and try to get you.
Yeah, and my kids ain't nothing like that, man. I was and not even my kids, it's just certain people. Like I was talking to, I brought him up earlier, Chris Alexander. We were driving, we were doing a road trip to do some comedy, and I be telling him all my childhood stories, and he's like, "Man, I ain't do nothing like that." I said,
What?
"You missed out."
Yeah,
I said, "You missed out." I tell my kids all the time, because they think of it as it was bad.
yeah.
I said,
No.
"No, it was amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing
I had
childhood, bro."
freedom. I had freedom with the zero responsibilities. Like clean up your room, do a couple things around the house, and then you have all the freedom you want.
Yeah.
And real freedom to make decisions and learn stuff, to learn. Oh, and it's a crazy thing, like you talked about, like the creepy dude who rode around in your neighborhood. Your parents basically treated him the same way we treat alligators. When something bad happens, you're like, well, what were you doing so
Yeah,
close
well,
to the
why would
water?
yeah,
You
right? I told you
know?
not to swim in that part of the brook.
Yeah, I told you not to go in this fence if you lost the baseball. You just lose that baseball.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't go
dude.
creepy Kevin's yard.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because hey, man, my mom was clean my room, uh, go to school, finish my homework.
Yeah.
Here go the little $50 I'm paying you every paycheck to let me
Yeah.
still live here.
Yeah.
And I had no curfew. When I got into high school, from 10th grade to 12th, I had no curfew.
Once I got a job, the same thing, Ken.
No
No
curfew.
curfew.
No curfew. She knew, I check, hey mama, me and Alex, we at Taco
Yeah.
Bell. Now we was over some girl's house, but
Yeah.
I still let her know, hey, oh mama, I just got out work. I'm on my way home.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
curfew, and that's what my mom was. But 10:30 at night, the door was getting locked. All the locks too. We had like 7 locks on the door. Honestly, we had 2 at the top, the deadbolt, the one, and then a little one at the bottom too. And at 10:30 at night, they would get locked up. So it'd be 10:30, and I'd be like, "Hey, I crashed in one of y'all places." I remember I used to sneak in my buddy Wilson's window so much that we were always worried, like somebody gonna think we gay. Like, because it would be 3 in the morning. I'd be like, "Yo, Sen, I could come crash before I got to go to school." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, creep through the window." And, we'd crash on the floor and then go to school. It wasn't nothing to people don't know now, man. And I'm saying this, I know it's going to sound weird. It wasn't nothing to go to school sometimes wearing the same thing you had yesterday because you were
Man,
like, "Hey, man, I ain't go home.
I ain't go home, man.
Take a
Hey,
shower." I would take it. You take a shower in the locker room. Be like, "I'm going to take a shower in the locker room over here." Or did you
yo,
ever get to school early for breakfast? Sometimes we'd be like, "Hey,
dog,
man, yo,
all the time.
just get some
I grew up
breakfast."
poor, bro. I
Yeah,
I went to school to eat. I had
yeah,
perfect attendance.
yeah.
I tell people all the time. Only reason I did RTC because I had a day where I had to wear a uniform, so I
Yeah,
had to wear
save
my
one
clothes.
outfit. Yeah,
No, dude, I had perfect attendance. I had to eat, bro,
yeah,
because they didn't start breakfast for us until I got in the middle school.
yeah.
I'm trying to really think. I don't think elementary school did
I don't
breakfast.
think they do that because I don't think they want kids there that early. It's probably a liability to have a little kid just hanging out at 6 a.m. And what time
Yeah,
did school start? Because I remember school started like 7 a.m. when I was growing
bro.
up.
I think Nugget. I think she get to school at 7. And I want to say Layla might be 8 o'clock. Bird might be 8, but Nuggets in high school, but so she
Yeah,
get out of school at like 2,
yeah,
and Nugget don't get. I mean, Bird don't get out of school till like 4 o'clock.
yeah. There's a gap. And do you remember just having to wait at their school to pick them up? You're like, you're in high school. You got a younger brother, your younger sister, and it's like we out at 2. What are we doing? Hanging outside. This is an innocent time because it's like, what are you gonna do? We're just gonna hang outside the elementary school. I got to pick up my brother. You know?
Hey yo, you going down slides and on the
Yeah,
swing and stuff?
smoking.
Yeah.
Hey, smoking a joint underneath the swings, like on the slide. Got to
Hey
pick him
man,
up, man.
we got 30 seconds, man. Where you at this weekend, dude?
Man, I am in Dallas, Texas this
Ooh,
weekend,
nice.
all weekend. Yeah, so I'll be at Dallas, Texas, and then I get back on Tuesday. It's a good run, so I'm excited, man.
Cool. I have nothing this weekend so far. Hopefully I get booked. But Tuesday night, I'm at Tacos and Labs in Kissimmee, at Unco Gastro Bar. I might
I
be
thought you were
saying
gonna say Sunoco gas
yeah,
station.
it
I was
might
like,
be.
Bonker Show?
Dude, I'm trying to read this Unico Tacos and Labs. It's me, Dwayne, Tim Allen, and a bunch of other comics, and it is free. I put this up on my Facebook page. Y'all can check it out. Man, we gotta get up out of here. We've been going over big time, man. So I'm Ken Miller. That's Miguel. Miguel, man, tell these weirdos what to do.
Take your ass to bed.
Good night.